Oh man. Boom boom. Episode 9.
Did it on time.
There we go.
Woo,
There we
nine
go.
episodes.
Started with an oh man though.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
But hey,
Yeah,
you know, it's good.
different strokes for different folks. You already know. But anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that. Here we are. It's the TurnDown podcast. Thank you guys for coming in for episode 9. I repeat, episode 9
yes.
of the TurnDown. Again, as always, your boy Kendrick Bowser with my brothers, Mr. Miles Malone and Mr. Tim Edwards as well. Got to start it off. How y'all brothers doing, man? How's everything going?
Stressed the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Tired,
Yeah.
overworked, but hey, here we are.
Yeah. You know, happy to be doing the thing.
Oh yeah, y'all made it. Y'all made it. Because Tim, you supposed to have your recital today. Got rescheduled.
Yeah, it got postponed due to the
Yeah,
high
man.
winds.
Yeah. I saw that wind after work. I was like, I don't know how much instrument playing is going to be happening outdoors today.
I know. Yeah, and especially
it's
because
crazy.
especially because of recording.
Mm,
You know, I mean, we know now, especially when you're recording, you got a microphone. Any kind of wind it picks up is just going to be like, it's going to be terrible.
yeah. Nah, but that's good. I mean, at least next week, I know the weather's supposed to be great pretty much all week. And then Sunday's supposed to be in the 70s. So
Yeah, it's supposed to be
you
much
should be
better.
good to go.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm
you should be
excited.
good to go. Yeah, man. Nah, I'm excited too. And then Miles, when is your recital? So the people know. Let the audience know when your recital is going
Our
down on the
recital
live
is
stream.
May 8th, 2021. That's a Saturday, I believe. Yes. Come and stream it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great. Fun music. Tim's in it.
Great. Yeah.
So
Oh
come
yeah.
watch me play
I'm
bass.
excited.
Oh yeah. Before you go out and watch UFC 262, before you go out and do whatever, please go watch the Brothers Recital on a live stream
Yes.
due to COVID, since you can't come in person. But next year, senior recital, the Big Bang, you'll be able to see both
Yes.
in person, both of them.
I got big plans. I'll talk about them later when I do.
Oh yeah,
I do
It's
my
gonna
little
happen.
extra. So
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But yeah, man. I before we dive into it, because today's gonna be a lot of stuff that's been happening. But we'll have a little exciting moment. Miles brought it up before we started.
Mhm.
I don't know how many UFC fans we got out here. Probably not too many. But last night, one of the nastiest knockouts I think I have ever seen. And I watch a lot of fights.
Sweat clean off the face.
Clean off the face. For context, there's I believe welterweight, right? They're welterweight.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think they're welterweights. Kamaru Usman, shout out to Kamaru, repping the Nigerian Nightmare. He's the current UFC champion in the welterweight division. Went up against Jorge Masvidal. A lot of you guys, you don't have to watch UFC. It was pretty big, where he basically kneed somebody and knocked them out in like 5 seconds. Like just jumped up. It was luck, 100% luck. Kneed him in the head, knocked them out, and championship fight. But my boy Kamaru came through with the KO. I know a lot of people lost some money on that. I remember I saw a video on Twitter. Somebody lost $65,000 on that fight.
65.
$65,000.
Gambling's
of all,
a whole
you're-
different animal, man.
Whole different animal, and you're dumb to put up that much money on a severe underdog. I'm sorry, if it's like 5,000 and you can lose it, I'd understand. Like, okay, man, I lost 5,000, but I got like 80. How many people could say I lost 60 and walk out like just cool? Like 60,000 for some people, that's a mortgage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Or a salary.
Whole year worth you lost in 2 hours. 2
Yep.
hours. Oh my God.
Also, I saw the picture of the sweat just flying off his face, man.
Just clean off. And surprisingly, that hit did knock him out. He
Was it
was
not-
awake.
He was awake.
No,
Yeah.
it was the second hammer fist on the ground. When he hammered him, that's when he went out cold. But he was close. He was like hanging on. If he got up, he would have got knocked out anyway. He was not doing anything after that. Like that. No, that buckled him. But yeah, shout out to Kamaru Usman, man. Shout out to the Nigerian Nightmare. But UFC aside, man, there's been some serious things going on, you know, in the midst of the vaccine getting distributed. I'm trying to think about what else we have going on right now besides the vaccine. You know, it's just been a lot of stuff, but I just been seeing a lot of black brothers and sisters getting killed, and it's getting. We've seen it. It happens a lot. Of course, we've already seen a lot. We talked about it, but like when it happens so much within the span of 14 days,
Yeah,
it's been like 5 different incidents.
like all over the past week, especially within the like since the Derek Chauvin trial started, like it was so surreal because it was like, damn, it's happening all over the place. There was like one, actually might have been even 2 that happened even just here in Maryland. And a lot of the victims are like really young this time, like 20 and under.
Yeah.
These past few weeks, like Dante Wright, he was 20.
Makias 15.
Was she 15 or was she 16?
She was 15.
Adam Toledo.
Adam Toledo.
13. So yeah, it's that's also another interesting thing to look at from the lens of us, because I'm like, these are people, all of these victims in particular, and these are just people that we're talking about. Like there was another shooting in Tennessee, I forgot the name, in a school, so it was a high school, so that's also like a high school. I believe he was 16. The incident here in Maryland, in St. Mary's County, I believe that was a teenager as well.
Yeah.
So, and the FedEx thing that happened last week, we touched on for a second. That was also a 19-year-old who went in and killed 7 people, and then
which is, I think that's going to be a nice little cross section to look at how you know, he's still alive.
Oh no, he's not.
Is he not? What happened?
FedEx, no, he killed himself.
That's right. Right.
He would have been. We know that. That's a given. After you just brought mass destruction to a public facility and killed 8 people and injured 9 more, he would have gotten out alive, just like they did the Florida shooter who went into the high school.
Dylan Roof.
Dylan Roof. They took him to Wendy's.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know Dylan Roof was taken to Wendy's before they brought him to the precinct, or before they brought him to the holding cell, and they asked him like, "Hey, did you want something?" And they got him like a Baconator or something like that. He was given Wendy's after he went into a black church and murdered, slaughtered even, and he killed a government official. It was like a legislator in South Carolina that was murdered in that church. So a government official was just murdered, and you're giving this guy Wendy's.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you just had a guy get convicted of murdering George Floyd for a counterfeit $20 bill, and he's not. That's another thing. Before we really dig into all the killings that have been happening, I don't know. I guess I'm just somewhat bothered by George Floyd's killer got convicted. Good moment, right? Everybody's hype. That's nice. The brother has not been sentenced.
No.
Can we stop acting like we have won something? I hate when people want to rationalize, oh, well, other cops didn't get convicted. He got convicted. Therefore, it's a win. No, it's not.
No.
There was no way.
Yeah, he could still get 12 years.
Not only that, 4 with good behavior. He's not. He's off, right? Not only that, how can you possibly let someone walk out of a courtroom innocent when there was an 8-minute and 46-second video of them
9
murdering
minutes and 29
someone?
seconds.
Yeah, the video was
off.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
but
the video was 8.
Yeah,
the actual thing.
Actually,
So 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll give it one more. 9 minutes and 30 seconds of somebody murdering someone on television. Trayvon Martin wasn't caught on footage. Philando Castile was, but I guess because he had a gun, the officer walked. That's terrible. But hey, they used the gun as an excuse. Sandra Bland wasn't caught. Freddie Gray wasn't caught. This was caught.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So to say that, oh yeah, he got convicted, we won. We haven't won anything.
They were going to have to convict him because
they had to convict him.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of, will the brother do time? because everybody jumped the gun and started posting, oh, we won. Cops are finally getting corrected on it. No, he can get off in 4 years. And then look at all of the Republicans and all the people that are going to come out and support him as a member of the blue, as a blue life. And he'll come out and probably be able to do, I mean, now he won't be able to be a police officer, but trust me, his life is not over. It's not. But George's is.
Yeah.
So stop acting like we won something. We didn't win anything. This is not a victory.
I think that's the thing that I think at a certain point it became a thing of, if Derek Chauvin would have gotten off in court, like let's say he wasn't even convicted, right? There would have been, if you think like last year was bad, I mean, like the thing is Hennepin County, the district in which Minneapolis is in the county, they closed all of their schools on that day, on the day of the verdict, because they knew what the possible pitfall, what the possible windfall of this was. If he wouldn't have even been convicted, there would have been like some people would have died. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that would have been a thing. So I think what ended up happening was they realized that they can't just let this one, they can't just fluff this one to let him off like they do.
There's no way.
It's a form of appeasement, because the thing is that the layperson will just look at the conviction and say, all right, or damn. We'll just look at that and say, all right, we won. Like, it's good. Everything, we won. Here's justice. And it's like, so now the majority of that force is like, okay, they're appeased. We're good for now.
Exactly.
So now they can sneak stuff in and be like, all right, here's 12 years, really 4 with good behavior, instead of the possible 40.
And you're not even in general pop. That's the worst thing. You don't even get they give them the privilege of not even experiencing prison.
Yeah.
You know what general pop is? I'm trying to think about what is the things that if you were a really bad kid, sometimes your parents would send you to.
You mean like the scared straight stuff?
Not scared straight. No. I mean, like if you're really, they say it's like a school, like a military school or something, like a
military school or corrective.
That's what he's going. A corrective facility. That's where he's going. You get your own bedroom. You get your own dorm. Maybe you bunk with one person, if that. But most of the time, you get your own dorm. You get a bunk at the end of your bed. Right. You have meals at a certain day. You take showers at a certain day, and then you learn discipline. That's all that he's receiving as a grown man that just murdered someone.
Yeah.
But if I go out and rob a liquor store as a 17-year-old who has no food, no shelter, maybe in a lot of situations, and no parental supervision at 17, I can get 30 years, and you're throwing me in with 50-year-old, 40-year-old, 250-pound men where I shower in the same place as 20 other guys, where I sleep with maybe in some cases 12 to 15 men in one cell.
Yeah.
Huh.
Blue life, white life, whatever you want to say. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Because it's
not saying somebody deserves to get robbed. But my God.
Yeah, we don't get the same consideration when they throw us into prisons.
Lori Loughlin got to pick what facility she went to for $500,000 in fraud.
Yeah.
That's $500,000. $500,000. But I personally know mothers that went out and got food stamps for their kids. And yes, it was fraudulent. However, the kids got to eat. And guess what? They got 5 years, 4 years,
right,
for trying to feed your kids. But Lori Loughlin wanted her cute little daughter to go to USC. So she did $500,000 in fraud. Same with Felicity Huffman. And God, that hurt me to the core because I love her. I love Felicity Huffman as an actress. But dude,
yeah,
it's $500,000. The guy that orchestrated it, his documentary's on Netflix. I forgot his name, where he was originally like a college assistant. He helped your kid get into college and prepped them for the SATs. He was the whole mastermind behind celebrities paying to get their kids into schools. He's not even in jail. He's not even in jail. He never served a day. Never served a day. Oh, well, we don't have substantial evidence. Oh, well, we can't really tie it back to him. He was the middleman between somebody getting to USC when they shouldn't have gotten to USC. He's not in prison.
Yeah.
He's not in prison, but I need food stamps to feed my kids and I'm in jail. It's just, I don't know, man. The discrepancies, as much as we talk about it, as much as I think about it, it just, it doesn't add up to me, man. It just doesn't add up to me. And there's nothing, and what kills me the most is that people will continue to rationalize why this is right. People will continue to rationalize that white supremacy doesn't exist or that the system's not broken. Oh, we've gotten our rights. We've gotten the,
I think more commonly white privilege doesn't exist. Not saying that I believe that. I'm saying that's
of course,
a belief. Right. More commonly than white supremacy doesn't exist. Or at least white supremacy doesn't exist in the scale that people think it does.
No, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, well, I mean, again, just please stop mistaking that for justice. Just stop mistaking certain things for justice. And one thing I actually thought about, which I wanted to ask you guys, a lot of people consider America the land of the free, right? Whenever black people particularly complain about conditions, complain about the system, complain about all of this, they say, okay, you're in the land of the free. You can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the ability to go out, get a job and go to college now with affirmative action. What do you guys feel in the land of the free is the difference between freedom and opportunity?
I think freedom is this buzzword. I think it's become in this country to mean that, like, oh yeah, legally on paper we all have, the same opportunity. I think freedom is a word that's used in relation to opportunity. It's like, oh yeah, on paper our laws say that we are all equal, right? We all have the same freedoms. We all have the same rights and everything. Whereas opportunity is the actual tangible result of said freedom, right? So while on paper we all have the same freedoms, we do not have the same opportunities. And it's meant to be like, I think a problem that a lot of us run into is that we talk about the systems in this country and everything, and we're like, oh, the system's broken. The system's not broken. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do. The issue is not the status of the system, it's the system itself.
Yeah.
So when you look at policing is not a broken system. It's a system that's working exactly like it's supposed to do. It's
highly efficient.
We don't need to get rid of the brokenness. We need to get rid of the system. There's no reforming or rebuilding a system that's this messed up, where you have a 13-year-old complying, where a 13-year-old can't even comply without getting shot. I took it upon myself to actually watch that video.
This is Adam Toledo.
Right? Adam Toledo, correct. And Adam Toledo is actually Hispanic, but it's still the same principle. Black and brown people often are targeted at a disproportionate rate, yes, than to white people. And this is in Chicago, the same place where a 13-year-old Tamir Rice was also killed years ago. Whew. Or was he? I think Tamir actually might have been 12 at the time. He was either 12 or 13. Either way, still very young.
Too young, yeah.
And say whatever you will. And I think the thing that I hated about the Adam Toledo situation in particular was seeing people go to defend the officer, giving reasons to justify why a 13-year-old kid, that's a child, was murdered. I don't care if he had a gun. I know he did, but he dropped it as soon as the officer told him to, and he turned around with his hands up. He complied. You guys always want to talk about comply. And I say you guys, most of the people that are watching this or listening to this probably agree with us. However, if it reaches
If
one
you
person,
don't.
if it reaches one person that doesn't agree with us, I want you to know this. What do you want us to do now? Because we don't comply, we get shot. We comply, we get shot. You know,
We call you for help, we get shot.
we get shot.
I
We don't
called
call
you
you.
to help me. I'm getting jumped by 3 to 5 women that
Yeah.
are 15 years older than me. I have a knife to defend myself. I call you to come help me,
Yeah.
the one that's being attacked. I have a knife in my hand. You pull up. The first thing you do is let 5 shots off.
And that was the other thing. That was like, why
5?
is that the first thing that you go to?
Yeah.
You know,
I want
And
to say one thing first. It's not confirmed whether or not yet. I believe it's not confirmed whether or not yet Micaiah was the one that called.
that
and
situation
then-
was very weird. There's a lot of stuff that I don't think we know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's also
and it was 4 shots. I know
One
it's the same thing. I'm just like doing facts.
15-year-old girl.
Also, Dylan Roof got Burger King, not Wendy's. This is just me doing small little facts. The one that really matters is the one that really matters in not an argument, but the conversation is we don't know whether or not Micaiah called.
Yeah, because I think that
else.
situation was also
they responded to a disturbance.
Was very weird. There's a lot of stuff that's not that I feel like is not out yet. And seeing that video was also like that. It was a little. I think that one was a little less cut and dry. I think the officer was still wrong.
Yeah,
there's no reason for you can. I mean, there are ways to diffuse a situation that don't involve putting shots into somebody's chest.
Where's your taser?
It was really it's really tough to say like honestly, and I know I'm playing a little bit more like I there's no justifiable reason why Micaiah should have died and even been shot. I watched as many videos as I could. It's actually like good that they released all those videos as soon as possible.
Yeah.
What happened was during the video, at least, is you can clearly hear her saying like, "I'll stab," this quote is, "I'll stab the fuck out of you, bitch." And this is for whatever reason we don't know at the moment. The others were unarmed. She was armed with a knife. And again, not justifying her death at all. It looked like the officer, immediately came and tried, in quotes, to defuse the situation, but really all he did was, whoa, hey, whoa, what's going on? And then he's pulled his gun and said, get down. He was behind her. So
much, and the thing is, so much is happening in that video. And then also there's, with that question specifically, I think that was also a failure on so she's a foster child.
Yes. And that's another thing too.
Because it's like, there are adults there who are not
doing
anything.
That's what I saw some people say too. I mean, I'm trying not to read comments, but today was a day of reading comments. And some people were saying that as well, as saying that like, what the hell were the parents doing? They were there, and then they said like, why'd you shoot her? Which
and they're saying
is
like,
fair.
It's like, but the thing is,
where were you?
Yeah,
where were you?
Yeah, I think and this is not to say that this is what happened. This is just, if I were in this position, it's hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell if you're the officer going in who the person is,
who's who, and what's going on.
Yeah, that you need to, because you don't know what's going on. And what I'm thinking is that he saw a knife and that she was going to stab someone else and made a decision. Now he pulled out his gun as soon as he saw her charge with the knife. And in my opinion, sorry, I've been thinking about this all day, so I'm just talking about this. But in my opinion, what are cops trained for? What are you doing all these running, like,
simulations?
Yeah, what are you doing all this training for? To not rush a person who's also charging, Now, not using a taser, that's one thing too, because a taser can misfire.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you just get tasers need 2 charges, and if one hits and one doesn't, it doesn't go through. Now, same thing with firing a gun. in that they're not trained to shoot legs. And this is just for people who might think, you know, why couldn't he shoot her
in a
arm or
leg,
leg or, you know,
they're trained to shoot center of mass, which is
And-
also another thing you have to. Why are they trained to? They're trained to kill people.
Right. And it's basically like that's really interesting. I have just a hypothetical about what maybe could happen. I don't know, but or something that has been brought up. Anyway, they're trained for center of mass, like you were saying, because if you miss the leg or the arm, then the other people's lives are also in danger because, you know, you could miss, you do more damage, you could hit the other person in that case. And that's a whole thing. Now, like I said, what's the training for if not to charge at a charging person, you know?
Right.
Instead of slowly walking with your gun saying, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, and then firing once you see her about to stab.
Yeah.
And that's that certainly is, I'm sure, I don't know from personal experience, but I'm sure that's a tough situation to be in general. Now, you know, what we need, of course, is more de-escalation tactics, more de-escalation training, in fact.
Yeah.
And especially when you go into poorer neighborhoods, at least from what I've seen, is that because the way that Black and brown people are seen as threats, the initial reaction is to pull the weapon, the lethal weapon, because you kind of have an assumption that something's going down, you know, something lethal is going down. I need to respond lethally. And that's a problem. And that is a problem.
The funniest thing is that they will pull a gun out on a Black kid that might say something smart to them walking from 7-Eleven faster than they will a white man in a car
carrying a gun saying that I will kill you.
Yeah.
He said, I will take your life. He threatened to murder police officers and they did not even draw their guns.
Yeah.
That is despicable. I don't care if I call I don't care if I tell a cop, I hope your entire family, you know, vanishes off the face of the earth. I don't care what I say. You're telling me, clearly unarmed, that you're motivated to reach for that Glock or whatever you carry to take my life?
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll do it before you even say anything. It's just like, hey, what are you doing here, son? With the hand right there. It's like, yo, I'm on public property. Or like the video in South Carolina where the brother literally lived in that neighborhood and decided to take a walk. And because somebody's Karen of a wife decided that he doesn't belong in their front yard, here comes G.I. Joe onto the block and says, hey, you don't belong here. You got to get out of here, son. Get out of here. What you walking around for? I can't walk around my own neighborhood. I can't take a stroll. As a lot of white people like to say, I can't take a stroll. It's disgusting, man. But I'm with you, Tim. I'm definitely with you. I'm with you, Miles. Like, it's funny because I agree with both of you guys when it comes to that. But it's like,
I mean,
they need to change. Why are you shooting? And if you are, even if you do shoot mass, even if you do shoot the center, right? If I have to aim at the chest, I have to aim at the stomach. Why 4 shots? It's a Glock. And I think it's based. That's why they need to simulate more situations. Because if it's a brother that's like Shaq size or like 6'5", 6'3", 240 pounds and charging somebody, I could understand more than one shot. I could understand because some people could take that and your adrenaline's running and you're gone. Some people don't even feel a gunshot, right? So I can understand that. She's clearly a younger girl. You can tell she's not Shaq. She's not, you know, Debo. She's not like somebody physically. 4 shots. I think after the first, she probably at least stopped. Like, yo, I just got shot. Kind of right? She's a 15-year-old girl. She's not busting through that.
I think this is less on the. I think this situation is one of those situations. I think there are a lot of situations. So like, and it's a mix of, is it a problem with the system or is it a problem with the individual officer? Like the Derek Chauvin thing. It's a problem with the system, but it's more a problem on the officer. I think this is more a problem with the system. Because
and in the Chauvin thing, officers, because there was also another brother there. I think his name was Eric Tao or something like that. There was another brother there that said nothing. He sat there as a cop, as an ally.
The one, in
And
fact, the one officer in the situation that did say something was a rookie, so it was kind of like he had no
oh, they're not
say in
listening to
that.
him.
And
Yeah,
that's more of a system thing.
that's just
Whereas
unfortunate.
this situation, the Khia Bryant situation, is more of a system thing than the individual officer. Because I can understand that if you're trained a certain way to do certain things, and because they released the video so quickly, it's like, okay, I'm just coming on the scene. All of a sudden, I see, people are fighting. Someone has a knife. All right, someone's about to get stabbed by this knife. I need to stop the assailant. What's the way I've been
Yeah.
trained to do it? I've been trained to put shots into somebody. Now,
Right.
that doesn't absolve him of any responsibility for that, of course. Still killed somebody, and it shouldn't have been like that. But that's how you were trained, not, oh, I felt the need to shoot somebody just because. Because in that situation, yeah, you're going to want to stop somebody who's about to injure somebody with a knife.
Yeah.
But the thing is, cops show discretion, I feel like, in
and-
so many ways.
No,
Yes,
that's definitely.
So it's like,
exactly. No, that's
why are
true,
we
yes.
not looking at discretion when it comes to him killing somebody? Like they
that's
show
what I'm
discretion
saying.
when they pull you over. They show discretion why they pull you over, at
Yeah.
what time of day they pull you over. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm driving down the street down Southgate at 12:30 p.m. or 12:30 midnight, I have a way higher chance of getting pulled
Yeah,
over, and that's a
exactly.
cop's discretion.
Yeah.
So you should
Well, I
apply
think-
that same discretion with how
Yeah.
you're trained, because
Well,
you're
no,
trained
I-
on how you
that's
pull
the
people
thing.
over.
I think the problem is that because there are so many different departments, it's hard to just say,
Mhm.
this applies to everything, because different departments are trained in different ways.
Yeah, you're right.
So we can look at the situation in
like a traffic cop versus a patrol cop or something like that.
or like Brooklyn Center,
Patrol officer.
where Dante Wright was murdered. The video
Mhm.
of the 61-year-old white guy who used his car as a weapon, who was hitting the cops over with a hammer, that came from the same area. So we use that directly and say,
Yeah.
okay, well, obviously something's not adding up here, because Dante Wright
Yeah.
was just getting in his car and driving away. You already have his information. You can find him. There's no need to.
Well, with the Dante thing, I saw that video myself, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he didn't deserve to die. First off, you never deserve to die. But now that brother, that was different. I think Makai, she was charging somebody. Again, that's a discretion thing. You're
I'm
trained
talking
that way.
I'm talking about in comparison to the video of the older white man, because that was the same.
Oh yeah,
that
was
the same police
crazy.
department. You see what I'm saying? That's the same police department.
Wow.
And then also, I think with the Dante Wright situation, that whole thing was, I mean, first of all, the cop that shot, she was on the force for 25 years. She was on the force longer than Dante Wright was alive,
Mhm.
right? She was president of the police union. She knows the difference between her taser and her firearm.
Yeah.
Actually,
she genuinely knew that was her gun. I think she was
Yeah.
just saying that to try to get out of it.
Oh,
She
yeah. No,
genuinely,
absolutely.
she knew that was her gun. She reached out and she pulled the
Exactly.
trigger on purpose. But
Yeah.
when I saw that video, I get it. They're in the same department. The white dude was 100% wrong. However, he didn't make any sudden movements. Dante completely broke the grip.
Yeah.
Jumped in the car, and then in the video, homeboy looked like he was reaching. I don't know what he was reaching. It could have been to change, gears.
I feel
Not
like,
saying the brother deserved to die. She was
I
wrong.
feel like we shouldn't even talk about that, just simply for the fact that you get into a slippery slope of starting to justify it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not justifying the dude's death. She was wrong.
I know. I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying that we get into if you start to do that, then you start to go down that path of bringing up. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, they found no weapon. So
there was a weapon in his car.
No, they found no weapon. They didn't.
Oh, you saying they found no weapon? Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So they didn't find any weapons. The reason they pulled him over initially was because there was an air freshener hanging in his car or whatever. They didn't like that. And then they found out he had a warrant for his arrest, which really the warrant actually came from. He got stopped because of his tags were expired. Except that department wasn't supposed to be pulling over expired tags because of the pandemic. People weren't able to renew their tags. So,
but did he have a warrant?
So I think the warrant was for failure to show for court. So. Yeah.
So definitely not
not a violent offense. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't even be going in the situation thinking, okay, I got to pull my gun.
That's another problem, I think, with just a small thing. That's I think a problem with media. They totally left out the part where it's a warrant for his arrest based on if what you're saying is right, is that and I believe that it is that his warrant was for not showing up to court. when you see there was a warrant for his arrest, it sounds like he killed someone or kidnapped someone.
Like
if you just say that.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I'll say my opinion because I'm not going to speak on Dante. I'm going to speak on myself. If I break away from a police officer and I get killed, I can't be mad. Period. I can't. And I'm just telling you that as a black man that lives in a situation where I could die any day. We are trained, and that might be a lack of a parent. That might be a lack of whatever. You don't break away from a police officer. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I agree.
Yes, you have the right to. Yes. Technically, you're evading a police officer. Myself, if I did that and I got killed tomorrow, my mom, of course, would grieve, but she would have to. Any parent that trains you would be like, "Yo, Miles, what are you doing?
I think.
Why are you breaking away?
Yeah,
Why are you ripping out of the handcuffs and jumping in your car, looking like you're about to drive away?"
Yeah, I think. That's the sad part. Is that we have to think like that because I agree with you, and that's unfortunate.
Oh no, it is sad.
There's
because I same as you. I've always been trained. It's like don't do anything that's going to put you in more trouble.
Nothing.
And unfortunately, like we have to live by that. And our counterparts that don't look like us can go through like don't have to. You know, they can go through. They're taught to go through life taking what's theirs. You know, and
so that's where the problem lies, systematically, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we can say person to person, you know, like all these whatabouts, like, oh, but you know, they broke away and all this, because that's true. You know, when you see Dante Wright break away and then he gets shot for it, and then you see the white guy who I still can't find his name, but there are articles. He breaks away, not necessarily like Dante Wright, but hits the freaking cop with the hammer, and then gets away. And then they find him later. So it's interesting that they can find a person later, you know, and it's just kind of wild that there's a lot of things.
You have the ability to be found later.
There's a lot of things that happened within the past year that could have been solved by that. And so, you know, when you go into it saying all this stuff, there's a general distrust. Which one of those is right? Mistrust?
I think so. Yeah, mistrust.
There's a general mistrust between both parties of law enforcement and, you know, people of color. And that's not for no reason, right? And it's, I mean, people of color for law enforcement because of what's been happening since law enforcement has been a thing. And because of that, law enforcement, they've been taught this since they've been a thing. Yeah. And that people of color are more of a threat. You know, look at the stats, right? Look at the stats in quotes. Like they're all, you know, most of them are troubled and they're going to be more lethal, all this kind of stuff.
And why is that?
You know?
And what statistics are you guys pulling from?
Right.
You know, like you go into Queens, you go into the Bronx, you build these apartments where you pack us in like sardines, and you expect these people not to. It's like a ticking time bomb. You put any group of people in those environments and make it generational.
Yeah.
What do you expect? You think we're all just gonna be sitting there happy? Oh, we're all on welfare. Oh, we're all gonna get WIC. You think we're happy about that?
Yeah.
Plus all of the systemic racism that we have to go through in schools, to get houses, in so many different departments, in grocery stores. For heaven's sakes, you're not going to see a Chick-fil-A in certain areas. I didn't see a Chick-fil-A until I was 13 years old. Are you kidding me? It's the people out here get to eat Chick-fil-A and Chipotle and all of this. And you don't, and then you wonder why you have so many people who are like, oh, they're so uneducated. Oh, they're so ignorant on these topics, bro. We don't even eat at the same restaurants, bro.
Yeah.
We don't even buy the same groceries. Your kids get access to fresh nutrients and fresh salad and fresh spinach and all of this. And guess what I'm eating? Lunchables every day. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And it is just it's systematic, but it's so disgusting how it's from the top down. It's in every asset, every facet of society. Is literally there's some component of it that is tied to races. Some component of it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tell your mama said thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely and so this is also these are all opinions coming from people that, like, you know, I'm saying, and not me necessarily personally, from all of the aspects, obviously,
Of course.
but coming from people who weren't raised in a rich household, you know,
Yeah.
at least not with all privileges.
Yeah.
So that definitely changes perspective a lot, you know.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It just gets so, it gets so tricky. Like just thinking about this and thinking about the situations and thinking about like discretion and what applies as discretion and when should discretion be used, you know, like.
Yeah. And, you know, I think when I was pretty silent in the beginning because I was, you know, kind of gathering my thoughts. When you were talking about how Derek
Oh my
Chauvin...
gosh, burn my mouth. Ah.
You
Oh my
good?
God, it's my
Oh no,
chest.
Kendrick.
You good?
Ah.
Is it hot?
Ah.
Breathing fire right now.
It just burned my mouth. It was mashed potatoes.
Oh, it was just like, oh, temperature wise, it was hot.
Oh, ah.
That was like fresh
Yeah.
mashed potatoes. Damn.
Ah, fresh. It felt as if like a ball of fire was going down my chest.
Yo was spitting that
Oh my-
fireball jutsu.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
The dragon style.
You know,
Mashed
No,
potatoes.
seriously. I felt like Sasuke.
I don't know if I think he'd be fine. I don't think he'd be reeled over.
Oh my God, my tongue is like, oh my God. I should have just ate the salad.
You should have just ate the salad.
Ah. Anyway,
Speaking
Tim,
of
I'm sorry.
salad, word from our sponsors, Sprouts.
Yeah. I mean, Whole Foods knockoff. I mean, I don't know what store I'm talking about.
We got so many pending lawsuits.
Yeah, man. They're stacking up.
Now mashed potatoes, just in general.
Just mashed potatoes.
We're getting sued by
Uncle
mashed
Ben's.
potatoes. That's all good.
It's fine. Come
Idaho
on, Uncle
instant
Ben's.
mashed potatoes.
I dare Uncle Ben's to sue me. I'll get y'all taken off every shelf.
I don't think we have that type of pool. I just really don't.
Call Al Sharpton. Call Brother Al. Give him 250,000. He'll help us.
We don't have 250,000.
Peter Parker's going
But
to
the
be mad if
NAACP
Bill
does. They
Uncle
give
Bet
out
again.
loans, brother.
They're gonna give us a loan.
They give out a loan with 25% interest.
A 25.
That's a discount. That's a discount.
A discount.
Discount.
It's normally 36.
Highway robbery. Shame on
No.
you, NAACP. Actually, don't
Shame
sue
on
us.
you, NAA.
Wait, don't sue us, NAACP.
Oh,
Well, that's
no,
another
we don't want
lawsuit.
that.
Like y'all are like cool for the most part. Like, damn, but
Didn't they meet with Trump? NAACP? They tried to like meet with Trump or something.
did they? Oh,
I don't remember
never
that
mind.
I mean, I guess you got to try and work with the president, no matter who.
Hey, you can't beat him, join him. You can't beat him, join him.
I can't.
Get your platform out there, man.
I remember. I forgot what it was on, but there was some white guy who was like, "Man, if they can have an NAACP, why can't we have a WACP?" And I'm like, "What do y'all think the N stands for in NAACP?" Because I don't think that's what it means.
Wait, hold up,
dog.
brother. You know,
Oh,
wait a
now I-
second. You know the N stand for national?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
okay. I was about to say.
He was well behind me.
Rational.
That was the joke there, Kendrick.
I'm about to choke.
Oh my
Nah.
goodness.
But anyways, yeah.
I was saying something real important.
I know, man.
Tell me
Okay,
how
so-
it goes.
Kendrick, when you were talking about, you know, this is not a win for with Derek Chauvin, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
This is not. It's hard because it's not like.
I think it's improvement.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
improvement,
small
I'll
it's a
say that.
small step towards change, but this is also something that we have to talk about. You know, if we want change, there is no win lose. Well, actually, there is
Exactly.
no win. There's a lot of lose.
Yeah.
But there is no win. It's a constant evolution, right?
Mhm.
And the fact of the matter is, in the past 4.5 years, we went through regression.
Oh yeah.
And we definitely
Oh, yeah.
lost. And what we're starting to do now, just a little bit, is to progress. And it's not enough. And it's not enough. No one should ever be satisfied with this. And I agree with what you're saying. Like, he's probably going to get off in like 4 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And what you're talking about, like with general pop and stuff like that. I mean, I think, this is my kind of view on prisons in general. I mean, really, everyone should not get general pop treatment, you know?
Yeah.
But that's another thing. That's another fight, right?
Exactly.
And so another thing that I wanted to bring up is that when we're talking about, Miles kind of brought this up. He said slippery slope, but it was about kind of a different thing, you know, about justifying. You're almost getting to justifying a death. I was thinking about, making a hypothetical debate in my head with Khia Bryant's case.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to call it a case, but the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, to be unbiased, I call it a case, so I can have that kind of, conversation in my head. So I'm thinking about it, right? And as I'm thinking about, okay, this person might say, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll say, well, okay, what if she was white? What would have happened then, But here's the problem with saying that. And this is just kind of across the board. This is like a debating thing now. And that if you say, well, what if she was white? It becomes an entirely different case because she's probably living in a different neighborhood as well. Probably not going to be, and this is just like, that's the thing I'm going into it. This is probably not,
Yeah.
It's not even a part of the conversation. So
would she be a foster child?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Well, actually, also, I think thing about you said the neighborhood thing. You actually see the video. They're not in like a bad neighborhood.
No, they're not in a bad neighborhood.
They're actually
in
a very
it looks like
a pretty
really nice cul-de-sac,
like upper middle class, like suburban neighborhood.
Looks like Upper Marlboro. Looks like Upper Marlboro, somewhere in PG, like Hyattsville. It really does.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that you can't say all this stuff. You can't say what if blank, because then it becomes an entirely different conversation, and then it's a distracting kind of thing, And I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, this is not really a part of the conversation, but it's something that if you are debating this, that's an important thing not to do, because it's hard for me not to do it, because that's like what I'm thinking about all the time. It's like, what would have happened if Dante Wright was white? Well, probably what happened with that white guy who, fucking hammered a dude and drove away.
Yeah, physically assaulted and was using his vehicle as a weapon.
And then you also have different cops in that point, which is, an unfortunate discrepancy that you can't.
That's what makes all of these situations a situation to situation.
Yeah, you have to take it
like you can't
say case again. You have to take it case by case.
Case by case. Yeah.
And again, none of these is really. I like what Miles said. When you boil down to it, if you're debating about this, you're justifying the death of a 13-year-old. You're justifying the death of a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Adam Toledo. They were claiming, he's in a gang and all that. What
that don't mean nothing.
Doing, and doesn't mean anything in that situation, especially when he's complying, like Miles said. And that, not to bring this up and say the same thing again, but it's just, did everything right, in quotes. In that situation. In that situation, he did
what he's supposed to. And the thing about that is, like, I mean, you look at that situation, and of course you go back into the what if thing. However, you have to think about the wider environmental factors. Why do you think a 13, if let's say all these things about, he's in a gang or whatever, why do you think a 13-year-old's in a gang?
You think that's by choice or necessity?
Why do you think he's up at 2 a.m. in a game? Like, what makes you think that that's his? Because I can guarantee you, if a 13-year-old's in a gang, it's not his fault. I
tell you whose fault it is, though. I tell you whose fault it is. His father's.
Maybe not necessarily his father. Like, I mean, his father. I mean, you don't know.
It's the system, but it trickles down to the father.
I mean, the father could be dead. So you don't know about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been like,
that's the system.
Well, no, I don't want to say it's like the father. You know what I'm saying? You know, because
who else?
What if his father died before he was born? Or
the system. That's what I mean. I'm saying the system is a result of your father joining a gang and, you know, possibly having a child and all that stuff.
No, I'm not saying his father was in a gang or anything. I'm saying, what if his father just literally, like, what if his father had cancer and died before he was born? Like, that has nothing to do with
it. But I'm saying that's a lack of a father.
Okay, but that's not. I wouldn't say that's his father's fault then. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I'll change that. Now, okay, if the father's alive and well, we'll use that as a situation. Because in a lot of these cases, the fathers are alive and well. They're just not taking care of their kids. Let's be real. Within the black community or in other communities too. It's not just the black community. But I'm thinking in the black community. A lot of these situations in the hood or in the ghetto, as a lot of people like to call it, the fathers are alive and well. They're just not taking care of their kids. And that is a system thing, right?
That's a system thing, yes.
However, if the child goes out and joins a gang, I blame the dad. You're alive, you're well, and only in alive and well. If you died of cancer or something like that, that's an extreme. No, you're not blamed. But you have a lack of a father. People don't understand. For a man coming up in society, to especially a black man or a person of color in those environments, if you have a dad that shows up for you, that teaches you right and wrong, that teaches you discipline, people go to a gang because of a lack of that figure. You go to a gang because you don't have people that can teach you how to fight. You go to a gang because you don't have people that can defend you. Guess what? If you have a dad that rides for you, a mother can only do but so much. I come from a single mother household, so I know she can only do but so much. My mom cannot teach me how to fight other grown men. That can't happen. My mom cannot teach me how to ride a bike the best that my dad could. Because at the end of the day, a dad's going to understand how his son works mentally more than anyone else. So when you take that out and you put them in that environment, the only other place that you're going to get compassion, protection, development, fighting skills, things that you kind of need to live in that environment is a gang. That's what I mean. So I'm not going to blame the dad in every situation, but if the dad is alive and well and you're not there for your child, which in a lot of the cases is what's happening, it's the dad's fault. And your kid joins a gang, your kid's seeking that validation, he's seeking that education that you're supposed to provide as a father from a bunch of other dudes that act as if, you know, that's the point of a gang. It's like a fraternity, right? You're missing something. You feel like you need to have the friends, the connections. You want to learn, you want to bond. If you have a father, yeah, you might still seek that, but will it be to that degree, to the point where you're willing to lose your life for a bunch of randos that you think are your brothers? No, it wouldn't be. So that's what I mean. In the extreme cases, no, it's not the father's fault. I apologize. I take that back in case that's what it came off as. That's wrong. That's not what I meant. I meant the father's alive and well. They're just not in their kid's life as much as they should be and not doing what a father should do. That's what I mean. Because I didn't have a dad in those situations. And the only reason that I made it out was because I met other men along the way that gave me bits and pieces. That's it. Because if I didn't have that,
because social circle is definitely a big part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got you've got kids who, and this is just what I've seen in my, not my personal experience, but what I've seen around me. I mean, you've got kids with great potential, but they've got shithead friends who think they're immortal and want to do stupid crap. And I don't know why I said crap when I said shithead. But I think you have a good point there too, where if you have no figure in your life like that, or if you're rejecting a lot of father figures because you're taking your advice from friends around you who have the same life experience as you do.
Yep.
So
it's a cycle.
Really no wisdom. I think like we said, person to person basis, I think it also goes with like social circle to social circle.
Right.
And that's also where I think the systematic approach kind of makes more sense too, because what you're talking about, and you're talking about, fathers not being there for other reasons because they died, say something like that. With, with moms. Now, maybe they had cancer, or maybe they had cancer, maybe what are all this stuff. This is what aboutism is at this point. So,
of course,
can't really say. But you have all that happen, and this kid's got great parents, and I won't say comfortable, but a somewhat okay lifestyle. They're getting good morals, at least from their parents. But the friends that they've hung around with all the time are doing bad stuff because of that. And if a person's really, really heavily influenced by their friends, then they might do that too. Hopefully they would shape up though, and you have to have people around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there are so many factors that it's hard to just
so many factors, and that's
say,
that's my point of what ifs and what aboutisms, and
that's
I'm just speaking from the perspective of an Adam Toledo, not him because I don't know his family situation, but a kid like him. Because in that situation, the dad is essential. Period. It is essential. Yeah. You might listen to your friends, but when you listen to your friends to go smoke somebody, what's the chances of you doing that? Yeah. Because the brothers I knew that had fathers in their life, even in those conditions, never did any gang stuff. Never messed with anybody. They had friends. They had friends that were in gangs, but did they dare go out and do that gang? No, because guess what? The dad was coming outside. Nah, bro, I got to go home. My dad is going to be a problem. Nah, bro, I can't run with y'all. You gonna go hit a lick down the street? Nah, man, I'm sorry. My pops is home. They had that. Your dad is home. Miles, you go out and join the gang. Is your dad gonna be cool with it? Is he gonna let you do it? No. Now put yourself in a situation where you're 30 times poorer.
Yeah.
No. Still same thing. No. That's what I mean. So yes, you will listen to your social circles. You may smoke. You may drink. That's life. But what I'm saying is, will you go out and join a gang and carry a weapon and be ready to kill?
Right.
No. That's a level of malice that comes from a no father. It comes from no father. And even if your father is there, my dad was not dead. My dad's alive. He didn't parent me. He didn't teach me how to be a man. So my father is there, but he's not there.
Right.
So I could have gone out and joined a gang. I could have done that. But I just found a replacement. Not every brother can do that. Not every brother comes to Old Mill and meets Mr. Meisner and meets Mr. Sittimer and Belzer and Eddie Eatman and Terry Koger. And I can go on a list of a bunch of brothers that I've taken bits and pieces from and said, oh, that's how you should treat women. Oh, that's how you should rehearse. Oh, that's how you should go about trying to get things you want in life. Co-workers even. Not every brother has those experiences. I'm very blessed. It really makes me appreciate that. But the majority of them, as much as your peer group is stupid and they may be doing dumb crap, you got to go home by 6 because dad is coming home from the plumbing company and it's going to be, it's lights out. It's not happening. He catches you on the street. Your dad's going to put, some people don't believe in hitting their kids, and that's fine. I'm not going to go into parenting on this episode, but I'm saying your dad puts one on your back, right? And you just know that's how it was coming up, and that's how it's going to be, right? And you just go in the house. Shut up, kid. You're not doing that. The father, his role in that house is to make sure that man grows up and becomes a man, not a boy. You don't stay as a boy. So that's how I think that father role and that environment. I can't speak for rich people. I think, in those environments that it's a lot of factors because a lot of times the marriage can affect the family and, but I'm speaking from not a lot of people are married where I came from. Not a lot of people have fathers in the house. So the people that did have their fathers in the household never mess with it. 100%, like never mess with it. And that's similar to Adam Toledo. That's what I mean. So I don't know. He might have had a father in the house. Some kids, a father's not going to be 100% cure.
But then I think, so then the wider question becomes then, why is then the father not there? Let's look more into the systemic reason
that's
why
the
system
father's not there. Exactly.
Why it's not there?
Yep.
Is this a hereditary thing where you're a legacy gang member where it's like, oh shit, my dad died for this gang, so I'm gonna die for
I gotta do it. Exactly.
And then it's like, okay, well, why was dad in the gang? And it's like, well, because his brother was in the gang. Why was his brother
in the gang?
Because there was no way to make money. We live in a place nobody would give us a job. We need to make money somehow. Oh,
we were hungry.
So, we need protection on the street because these other gangs, these other kids who are honestly, the system's failing these other kids. We had to protect ourselves from those kids. So now what are we going to do? We're going to start our own gang.
Exactly.
And I think that speaks to the wider way that the system has mistreated Black and brown people in particular. Because, you redlining and all that stuff. I mean, you look at Baltimore City, even just Baltimore City, just up the road, one of the most just disgustingly redlined cities in this country.
You want to talk about gentrification?
Yeah.
Go enjoy a nice day on the harbor and then take a trip to McCullough Projects, which is maybe like 3 minutes away. Enjoy a nice day on the harbor. Go down to Fogo de Chao. $150 steaks they cook right in front of you. But you go down to McCullough. You go
Sponsor us,
down to
Fogo de
McCullough
Chao.
Projects. Sponsored by Fogo de Chao. Sponsored by Fogo de Chao.
Well,
But
we're
you
not.
go on
but,
down
like,
to McCullough
dude.
Projects. Come on, sponsor us. Give us some money. Why not? We'll try your steaks. We'll do a mukbang on here.
Give us a steak at least.
Yeah, or like give it to us.
Something.
Don't make us buy it because
Give us a steak, people.
I'll get paid in food
I got like car payments
at this
and stuff to
moment.
make.
Give me a steak. Give Miles money.
Yeah,
Give Kendrick both.
Nah, give me a franchise.
yeah, franchise.
I need a Fogo de Chao. I need a Fogo de Chao and Glen Burnie.
Give Kendrick a restaurant.
Fogo de Chao and Glen Burnie.
Invest in.
Man,
It'd break records. It'd break records.
Oh man.
Because I tell you one thing, black people love, and that's food they can't afford. So you bring that Fogo de Chao to an area where they can't afford it, they will work 30 hours a week just to pay for the Fogo de Chao.
If it's Glen Burnie.
And that's another systemic problem that we
that you just
are facing.
yeah.
You redline the Fogo de Chao.
You redline the Fogo de Chao.
Oh my god.
This is where the trucks park. It's like going to Crabtown and then going to McDonald's.
Oh my gosh.
An entirely different crowd you're gonna get. Maybe I shouldn't say McDonald's. McDonald's is kind of universal.
No, you're right. McDonald's. You're right. It's a different crowd. McDonald's McDonald's is universal. It just depends on
I think
which
depends on which
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Because I've been to some McDonald's where I'm like, that McDonald's in Philly. That McDonald's in Philly.
Oh yeah.
Where's boarded
Right
up,
next to
it's like, don't worry, we're
Temple's
open.
Field.
Oh man.
You want to talk about gentrification? I don't know if I told this on there.
Mm-mm.
I was in Philly and we had just come back from the art museum and we were in line at McDonald's. Mind you, Temple University is in the city. It's in the city. This is gentrification and redlining at its finest. This McDonald's was boarded up.
Oh.
It was a boarded up McDonald's. I've seen boarded up houses. I've seen boarded up businesses. I have never seen a boarded up fast food joint that is open.
It was boarded up and open.
It was boarded up and open, and on the sign they spray painted a big arrow and said drive through. Because anyone in their right mind that drove up and looked at that would think, oh, they can't be open.
I bet that's the McDonald's
they-
with the ice cream machine that works.
It did. It
Yep.
did. And that's why I didn't get no ice cream.
Exactly.
I'm not getting ice cream from there. I mean, my God, the things I saw in our ice cream machine in Millersville, Maryland. And you think I'm finna eat ice cream in Philly?
You're getting roaches in that ice cream.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
please tell us about the
You get
ice
more than
cream
roaches.
because sometimes I'd be having milkshakes from there, and now I'm a little.
No, you're good. You go to Millersville, bro. You're in Millersville. You're good. Or Severn. You're safe. Go
Okay.
ahead to the Philly. It's not going to
So-
taste like ice cream.
Just want to make sure that I'm not ingesting anything dangerous. That'd have been nice
Now,
to know years ago.
There's that rumor that they
listen.
put sawdust in their milkshakes. That's how they had
Oh,
that
that's some good ass
consistency.
sawdust. I'm not
Hey,
gonna
man.
lie.
Hey, man, I was sipping on that sawdust.
I'll pay for that
As an
sawdust.
employee.
Say
I'll
whatever
pay
you
for
want
it.
to say about McDonald's, but the milkshakes,
Oh my
when
god.
when that ice cream machine works, I
Yeah,
tell you
man.
what.
Milkshakes are delicious, man.
That's the thing. So the ice cream machine never works.
I've had to fix that thing on too many occasions. It's so nasty.
It's like an
You gotta get
episode
up
of
under
this,
there.
that's like playing The Sims. It's like every 5 minutes your ice cream machine breaks and you got to take an hour to fix it. I just leveled up my.
No, it takes 2 hours, bro. It takes 2
hours.
freaking hours.
The bar is growing. You're leveling up
Oh my
your
God.
your repair skill.
But no, Philly
That
was a
joke-
serious case of gentrification.
That joke's for real.
And I told you about the girl that dropped her she dropped her what's it called, her hair wrap.
Oh no.
It was a white girl. She was walking. She played field hockey or something. Poor girl. She was walking and she had a little
Oh, you could have
hair
said
wrap.
field hockey and then I would have known.
You would have known, white girl. What's the
Right,
difference?
yeah.
Why'd you say the same
Yeah.
thing twice, Kendrick? Oh,
Anyway, she was walking and dropped her hair wrap, and she was like right on the line. So like because it's night and day. Temple, the great campus is right here. You cross the street, it's hood. It's hood. Like you cross the street. So she was crossing to try to get to the nice area. There were two African American brothers that were walking behind her, just chilling on their phones, laughing. Why did her hair wrap drop out of her hair? Fell onto the ground. I know she felt it. She left that joint go. She did not turn around and pick that thing up. That thing fell out of her. She said she did this and like swayed and flipped her hair, and that was it, and just kept moving. And the dude was like, "Hey, your bonnet." She said this. She like walked up.
Oh,
and ran across the street.
Dang.
$40,000 to run across the street. 40,000. Shout out Temple, man.
Yeah.
But that was my life, my
Let's
in
go grad
person.
school.
Oh,
Let's go grad school.
oh.
So that's one thing. I mean, granted, it's Philly, so you're you're in there.
Totally different.
But I mean, I know I've talked about this before, but that's something in that. I mean, it just one person of color walking, especially a man, is going to be a threat. Oh, okay, well, that's in a whole other thing. Instead of
That's
just
a whole
a
nother
man is a
conversation.
threat to a woman, but I
100%.
mean,
In general,
especially,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking like a group of people, you have
the black men.
yeah, you just
We are the biggest threat.
Yeah.
To almost everybody.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
all eyes are on you.
Not even just women though. That's the thing. Like
No,
we're a threat
I
to men.
mean people. Yeah.
Yeah, just people in general. Like I've seen white dudes like literally like lock their doors and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, first of all, you're a grown man, bro. Like have some pride. Like
The locking the door thing.
I get locking the door, but
yeah.
damn.
Well, I think like locking the door is also like I think every especially every white person
I locked the door.
has accidentally locked the door and been like, oh shit.
No, he literally looked at me and locked it.
Oh, see, that's not.
Well,
Like
that's
he looked
different.
over and was like,
Oh,
he did this
oh yeah. The look of
to make me know like you're not breaking into my car. And it's
look,
like, dude,
look
if I really
scared
wanted
and
to rob
locking.
you, yeah, I'm like, if I really wanted to rob you, there's a window right there that I could break, right?
I would have robbed you already
Like
if I really wanted to.
I really would have already got there because you were a little slow locking it. He turned over real slow and was like,
Honestly,
We don't
rookie
rob
numbers.
anybody on the TurnDown podcast. Thank you.
oh, no, we
No,
don't rob anybody.
except for old white people.
It's fine,
Sorry,
I was listening.
for legal reasons, that was a joke.
My
Now you're gonna
brother,
get sued by all old white people. Jesus.
No, because for legal reasons, it was a joke.
my brother said one of his favorite things to say is just for legal reasons and then anything.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, I'm gonna go to the bathroom right now.
What?
All right, guys. For legal reasons, I'll be right back.
The kids.
And
these
for legal
days.
reasons, I feel like we should get Papa John's tonight.
Oh, that's
Stuff like
smooth.
that.
That's
Hey,
smooth.
whoa! Did you just say the P word?
Miles, come on, man.
Whoa!
Chill, man.
You know what side it is?
Chill on Papa John's. Bro.
Okay. Who has stuffed crust, Miles?
Hey, who has
Uh-oh,
garlic
uh-oh.
everything, dog?
Exactly. Who's got garlic in the soda?
You want garlic in your coat?
You want garlic
Hey.
ice cream? Domino's.
Hey,
Ew, garlic ice cream.
you got garlic in the crust.
Garlic
Yeah.
in the lava.
You want garlic?
You want
on
a
the
garlic
lava cake?
milkshake?
Hey, we don't have milkshakes.
Y'all
I
make
say,
them.
I say we
Y'all
like
will
I
make
still
them.
work there. I am no longer a corporate slave to Domino's.
Wait, you don't work at Domino's anymore?
No, I told you. That was like 2 weeks ago. I quit.
Dang, you ain't tell me you quit.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I'm just gonna do I'm just doing flex until we get the place, and then I'm gonna get a teaching job.
How is Flex going, by the way?
Very well, actually. Like, yeah, lots of money. So,
Let the women know how much you can pay, Miles.
well, like a decent amount, but I'm saving for an apartment. So, like,
Yeah, no expenses until we move in, people.
yeah,
I'll be coming up to him asking him for that new Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. Who the fuck?
Hey,
I'm not sure. Hey, let me make it clear right now.
depends on who you messing with.
That's true, actually. Some people I might splurge for,
Miles, here's what I want for Christmas. Flip.
but trust me, you will know
That's the
very
sound of it hitting the
quickly
ground.
if you are not one of those people. And I'm telling y'all right now, most of you are not one of those people. I just got to put that out there.
Miles, I want to learn bass. Can I have yours?
Have it.
Keep it. Keep it.
No.
She wants the fretless.
No, nah. I can teach you. We can get you a nicely, a little
play.
sound gear bass from our boy Rob at Music and Arts.
He said you play bass.
Do you drive? Shift?
Stick.
That's it. Sorry.
What was that from? Boys in the Hood?
That was from Boys in the Hood,
You
and
know how to drive stick.
that's like my favorite line now. I've never used it because that's also like kind of degrading.
Cuba Gooding.
But it's a great line that applies to me. Did I mention that I drive stick? So, like if your dad's like a car guy or something, like he'll like me a lot.
Oh
so.
my goodness.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hold up, did anybody see OJ commenting on the Derek Show intro?
No.
I did not. Oh. OJ.
Oh, what did OJ say?
OJ was on Twitter.
Oh no.
First of all, if you don't follow, listen,
I've been off
an
Twitter
OJ
for like
advocate.
the past 2 weeks.
I'm not an OJ advocate, but I followed a brother on Twitter, bro. I'm sorry. That is his
Twitter is
tweets,
hilarious.
His Twitter is it's one of the funniest Twitters on there. Okay. OJ on Twitter was sitting there commenting about the Derek Show. He was like, I mean, how could you not convict him?
OJ Simpson.
Now OJ
Simpson sitting there
Not
saying,
the
how could you not
Jews.
convict him?
What's his
He said that
actual
was on
first name?
national
Was like
television.
Orenthal?
Hello, Twitter world.
OJ Simpson. What's his real name?
Hello, Twitter world. That was on national television yesterday when he got killed, and I don't know how you.
I was right. Orenthal James Orenthal.
Orenthal.
Listen.
No, brother. It's the juice.
Sorry, Mr. The Juice.
The juice. It's Mr. Juice.
Mr. The Juice.
Mr. the Juice.
I'm not black. I'm OJ.
So, sir, now you know good and goddamn well
You grew up in Orange, New Jersey, buddy.
that
Don't get blacker than that.
you can't be commenting on anybody. Well, they had to lock him up. Now, sir.
How could you not convict him?
Now, OJ, if you're that's actually a pretty good impression of him.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. That man was in a court like this.
Hey, it doesn't fit.
Single ladies. That's where Beyonce got it from. OJ.
So, OJ, if you're watching, I mean, try and sue us. We'll put your ass away.
I dare you.
Wait,
don't threaten OJ now.
Yeah.
Don't threaten
Come on,
OJ.
man.
No, not with physical violence, with the law. The
Yeah.
fist of justice.
He was threatened with the law in the past. Did you see what happened?
Remember, he got acquitted.
Oh,
he
shit,
got
right.
acquitted.
Remember,
He's got somebody on the inside.
remember what happened.
That's true.
What
And
didn't happen.
Miles out here sending threats to a threater.
And the new Ford Bronco just came out again, so
He gonna
He's-
pull up and what it is?
he's raring and ready to go. I'm gonna get a Ford Bronco and get a vanity plate that's just the juice.
No, bro. No.
You'll scare people.
Nah.
Seriously. There are certain places you won't be able to go.
I was like, yeah, this is my baby right here.
Driving in Severna Park. Hey, look at that motherfucker.
Is that a Ford Bronco?
Is that a black man that says his tags say juice? Get him.
That's OJ.
That's one thing that will set a white woman off. Oh my God. I was out, I forgot where, and Amanda and I were talking about OJ, and we were like in a line somewhere.
Is that like a normal conversation for you guys?
No,
like,
dog.
just
You know
like in
me.
general,
Like, I was
it's like, oh,
joking.
let's talk
Yeah,
about
I was
OJ.
I think because we had just watched the FX thing. We had just watched the FX thing
Okay.
with Cuba Gooding. If you haven't watched that, please go watch it. It's excellent. We
Really
just
good.
watched that. So we were talking about, we were like, man, OJ was crazy. Like, all the stuff, he just got out of jail, started partying. Like, why would OJ do that? And the white lady in front, I guess it still stings to this day. Like white women everywhere, it stings.
I mean,
She turned around and she was
That's
like,
fair.
are you guys talking about that football player, OJ Simpson? And I was like, yeah, I just watched the
Yeah.
documentary. What's wrong? And she was like, ugh.
you're like,
It's,
all
I
right.
guess later on, I was
Same,
kind of a
guess, but,
butthole.
like, come on.
Yeah.
I would have been.
She kept walking in the line. I was kind of like, you know what? I said, man, I might go watch his highlights later.
But he was a great football player, though, man.
He was a heck of a running
Oh
back.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
would have running back.
First of all, yeah. Killing aside, that brother was a legend.
Kill-
Okay.
Murder aside,
Murder aside. Okay.
dude was
If you
killing
put
on
the-
the field.
If you
Now I
put the
can
stabbing
excuse a
to the
lot of
side.
things. Murder definitely being one of them. Oh,
Get your juice.
Get your juice.
he's the
What
juice.
is it
What-
with football players and doing
Okay.
stupid stuff, man? God dang
Like,
it.
I would class murder as a little bit more than just stupid stuff.
Okay, yeah, killing people. Sorry. Hey, it's the juice.
It's
I mean, what can you do? The juice is
goodness.
loose.
The juice is loose. I swear, when that brother got out and got on Twitter, the first thing he did was get on Twitter.
Yep.
His first day, he gained like 300,000 followers. His first day.
I remember when my family and I we went to Cancun a few years ago. On the way back in the airport in Texas, my dad got into a conversation with this guy who was like, yeah, no, like, because we were just having to be talking about like OJ getting loose. It was a white guy. We were in Texas, and he was like, yeah, no, I actually met him in Las Vegas like a few weeks ago, like right after he got out, and like talked to him for a while. And we were like, what? And he was like, yeah, no, it's just like really like chill, like just like
apparently he's one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, you know, aside from
that's why the thing was so crazy. That's why the killing was so crazy, because everybody was like, yo, he's the juice. Like, he's not. He goes to golf tournaments and runs and hurts commercials. Like, what the dude's in the airport. I got to make my rental. Doing the Heisman poll. He's literally the Heisman. That's the juice. Like, the Heisman is the juice. So everybody, you know, like the juice got loose, man.
The juice has been loose.
Juice got loose, and then he got loose.
Then he got
Vegas.
Loosey juicy.
Something about him in Vegas too. He like went to Vegas because somebody was stealing his memorabilia and like beat the piss out of somebody. Like, OJ's just one of those people you just know. It's like he's a guy who you would think you could fight on the street, but then like he just
I don't know who thinks they can fight OJ Simpson. Well, okay,
maybe,
I guess
you know, it's that nice guy.
Yeah,
like,
maybe because he's older too now. There's like, oh yeah, no, he's probably like, but he's OJ still.
Let's have Jake Paul fight OJ Simpson.
Oh, he wouldn't make it out of that ring alive.
No, I mean he would literally die, and then OJ Simpson would have to go on trial again.
Jake Paul to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah,
I just really want to see him get beat up. I'm so sorry.
The thing is though, is that they like Tyson talked with him too, like
because that thing is that
on the podcast,
that Ben Askren thing left a bad taste in my mouth. That was so.
He's not even a boxer, bro.
And he also
not even a boxer.
Jake Paul didn't meet him in the middle for the weigh-in. Like Ben Askren had to gained 40 pounds or something like that. So he's getting up there, doughy as hell. And Jake Paul's like looking better than he ever did, and then just fucking one punch.
No,
and the thing is, shout out to Ben Askren. Shout out to Ben, because you know what I think Ben did. You just gave Ben $1 million.
That's
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
He walked out that ring.
Like, I'm retired, but I could use money.
He was smiling
with his wife.
He was like,
yeah, dude.
He had his wife on his arm. She was like, "We about to go buy property. We about to go open up another wrestling gym." Because like the thing is, that's what makes Jake Paul such a loser, in my opinion. Like he's some people are so mad at life, and I don't know why. It's like, dude, you're rich. You're on Disney. Like, what do you have to be mad at?
No, he was on Disney.
Before they kicked him off, because of him being Jake Paul, and then now he has all these allegations of abuse. He's a piece of crap. Like Jake Paul's a legit, just like his brother who went out to the freaking suicide forest. And like, what are you doing? It's like there's certain things you just don't do. So now he's trying to box, and he's going about it by fighting a bunch of scrubs,
YouTubers.
Retired MMA fighters
Nate Robinson.
I was disappointed in that fight too. I was
5'8", bro. But I was expecting that from Nate. I saw him fight in the league. I saw the brother fight in the league, and guess what he did? He had no hands. He was trying to strangle everybody.
It's just like, dude,
that's all he was trying to do.
Jake Paul's also trying to fight retired MMA fighters, but he's not going in the octagon.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
If you're winning,
I just want to see him fight a boxer. Just fight an actual
boxer.
Yeah.
Get Pacquiao.
That's all I need to see.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to see Pac-Man beat the shit out of him. Also,
you heard about Mayweather.
I mean, everyone wants Mayweather. Well, it's planned, right?
It's actually planned to happen. Him and Logan Paul.
Well, that'd be interesting because Floyd Mayweather is more of a tactical boxer.
Yeah. No, but Floyd can knock you out.
He can definitely knock you out. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I think his game is like
he has a lot more tactical.
I agree. But
I think for the people, he's gonna get in there and knock Logan.
I hope so.
I think he's gonna get out there.
This is gonna be the first time I've rooted for Floyd Mayweather
in my life.
Yeah,
I've never rooted for Floyd. I was out there, Pacquiao. Even when I saw Pacquiao getting jammed, I was just
I almost always.
You would have swore I was Filipino during that fight.
Oh boy,
I was Pacquiao.
I was in there like, Pac-Man. When Pacquiao landed one punch, I was like, yeah. I ran around my house, and then I came back and saw Floyd just countering, landing two jabs, and I was like, that's the one thing about Floyd.
He's smart about it.
He's supposed to be
a smart boxer.
Oh yeah, super intelligent.
I already mentioned the tangent. We're well past.
Into the rabbit hole.
Whoa,
we're well into the rabbit hole. What was
Now we're
that?
just talking
Yeah,
about
well, that
fight.
was a weird sound. That was like some like weird feedback that happened.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Jesus, I thought that was another person. I was like, do I have people in here?
We've been infiltrated.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
For some reason, somebody wants to infiltrate the TurnDown podcast.
It's
I
OJ.
guess we talking.
It's OJ.
It's
It's the
new.
juice.
Mr. Juice.
Mr. Juice, please. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I take it all back.
Mr. the Juice. I'm so sorry.
Please,
But that's
Mr.
the thing.
Juice.
Like, I can't stand him as a person. I think, but Mayweather, bro, when he gets in that ring, that brother's a different beast. Did you see what he did to Canelo? First of all, Canelo Alvarez is like arguably the Mayweather of like today's boxing. Like he's a beast. Canelo's a beast. If you go back and watch those highlights of Canelo versus Mayweather, Mayweather made him look like a scrub.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these punches were just like, and it's almost magical. It's like the way he telegraphs his movement.
Oh yeah.
Because he'll set you up. He'll make you think you have an angle. And next thing you know, he slipped it. He's hit you 3 times and he's around you. And I'm like, that's what happened to Pacquiao all night. And then he hugged him. But
yeah.
God.
Man, it's really funny because I know people pretty much everybody who's listening to this is not a fighting. A fight people. I mean, I'm very selective when I watch, but
I can't watch too many fights. I think if I watch fights after if it's a big fight like Conor versus Khabib, I had to watch it. There's certain things I need to watch.
not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay for anything because I'll never
stream over here.
One, it's like always. I mean, you can always find it somewhere. But two, like anybody could get knocked out.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
And if you paid a bunch of money for that, there's no point.
Now I paid for Mayweather Pacquiao.
Really?
I feel like
paid $90.
I feel like you had to pay for that one.
You had to pay. I think it was such a legendary fight. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give them my money. Because one, I love Pac-Man. So I'm like, you know what? I will pay for Pac-Man.
Right. Yeah.
I love Pac-Man. If he's getting some money from me, great. And it was actually worth it. It was 12 rounds. He didn't get knocked out. Nobody got dropped. It wasn't like I was sitting there watching like somebody get beat up all night.
No, dude, that's
I mean, so it was good.
It's not like it's like I'm talking round one. Like round one, person gets knocked out, and you're like, what did I pay for?
No, seriously, watching. I will say, thank God I didn't pay for the Conor fight because Miles and I were together when Conor and Khabib happened. Yep. Thank God I didn't pay for that because that was a terrible fight, and I knew it. I love Conor, but when Khabib is just
dude.
He's scary. He's a scary guy.
A monster, man.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, if you have the time, watch a video of him and Henry Cejudo where they're debating about wrestling versus judo. And he was like, he said wrestling is boys play. He said that's child wrestling. Mind you, wrestling's no pushover. And and they're like, no, wrestling's the best. I'm like, who are you guys to debate a person that's 28-0 about which one is supreme? I would take his advice. Because he doesn't know how to wrestle, but he gets in that ring and it looks like he knows how to wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so funny. They're sitting there like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's sitting there like,
he's 28-0.
Yeah.
I beat Conor McGregor. I beat everybody in my division 3 times over. He could have beat Conor again. Like, come on, man. That's scary. That's scary. Oh my God, man. That's funny though. We began on fighting. And we actually wound up ending on fighting, even though this entire podcast was not about fighting.
No.
Yeah. We love a tangent here on the TurnDown. Speaking of tangents,
fight the good fight.
Next week, episode 10.
Oh yeah,
probably
episode 10. We're back, baby.
Another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Another rabbit hole.
I would also like to mention King of Segways, Miles Malone. I'm a master. Bow down to me.
He is.
Monotone. Bow down to me. King of Segways, Miles Malone. Bow down to me on the
6 week. What's another obligatory weekly thing? Ladies, applications still open.
Applications.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, I should have taken pictures yesterday when I was in. Oh man, I was fit yesterday. Immaculate. In my mirror. Tim could have told you. I mean,
yeah, he walked out. First of all, I'm like, man, I got 3 saxophones. Miles has 1 bass. So I'm like, I gotta get there early so I can set up, man. So I get to Miles' house. We're carpooling. So I get to Miles' house and I'm like, hey man, I'm here. He's like, I'm just finishing up getting ready. And I'm like, oh shit. And so I'm sitting there and I've actually got some like more contemporary jazz going on. So it's like making me even more anxious. It's like, and I'm like, fuck. Like, we're not gonna get there in time. And then Miles comes out and I'm like, good morning, King Drip. And then and then I'm speeding down the highway to get there. And we still get there with 5 minutes to spare.
But it was worth it. The fit was worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it. And it was hot on that stage.
It was hot on that stage, but so was I.
You know what? On that note, ladies, send in those applications. The brother's hot on the stage and
Dude,
off the stage.
I can't believe this episode's over already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My God. Shout out to the Juice.
Shout out to the Juice.
And shout out to the Juice, man.
Should we be shouting him out?
And our 15 lawsuits.
Yeah, and our 15 lawsuits. I think we can
It's
shout
not
the Juice
15.
out.
It's like 8.
Yeah. It's gonna be 15 by the time we're at episode 10. I promise you, especially with a tangent.
Oh yeah,
for a world record.
We're good.
But
World
anyway,
record
we love
lost
you guys.
8%.
Thank you for watching, and
Submit
please
your
donate
application.
to our lawsuit fund if possible.
Yes.
Or submit your applications, or do both. That's
guys.
actually how we're paying off our lawsuits.
Is the
Yes, is the applications. Okay, you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.